Hi guys, Molweni and welcome to my channel. My name is Nokukatom, your host. As promised, today is the 1st of April 2021. In South Africa, this month is known as Freedom Month, and happy Freedom Month. So do not forget to subscribe, like and share after you have listened to this interview or to this video. So today, let me just remind you the purpose of this channel. We are focusing on healing, forgiveness, and justice. So yeah, about single parenting and other issues and blended families. So I just want to share my passion for single parenting. Why am I passionate about single parenting? Because I am not yet in a blended family, and I'll be there one day, someday. So I am one of those single parents who became single mothers from at a young age. I was doing matric back then, and I fell pregnant, guys. This boy trapped me actually. I was not even, I cannot say I was dating or we're dating. It just happened. It was someone that I thought we're going to get to know each other better. And it was my first boyfriend and first encounter, and then I fell pregnant. So he said to me that day, he asked me to accompany him to get a jacket because he was feeling cold. So I thought it's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. So we walked to his home, and then he didn't take jacket actually. He just made himself comfortable in his bed, and he asked me to join him, and I was like, no ways, I'm going home. And long story short, we ended up sleeping, and after I've tasted sex for the first time, I said, no ways, I am not going to do this, guys. Sex is painful. Maybe I must add and say first time. I said to myself, not again. I will never do that nonsense again. And I left. I got home around about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. We're from the same village. So our village is not that big. It's a small village. Very intimate village. So community. I went home, and the following day, guys, I felt like something so special was removed or taken away or robbed from me. And I thought everyone knows, but they didn't know. It was just something in me. And then life continued. Little did I know that I was pregnant. And back then, we were not allowed to attend school if you are pregnant. So I tried to hide the pregnancy until the last moment, and I managed to write my matric and passed my matric same year, which is, I'm grateful for that. And I hide that from my parents. I tried so hard. Eventually they found out, and yeah, they did what parents do, Xhosa culture, where they take you to the family of the person who impregnated you as a girl. So it's something similar to a lobola process, but it's not lobola. They call it paying the damages. I'm assuming that we are damaged as girls. That's why the boy must pay the damages, but you can Google that. So the guy denied the pregnancy, denied even the fact that we're in a relationship. I slept with him, and I couldn't say anything. I just said, okay. And yeah, that was my story. And I developed low self-esteem issues. I hated myself. I hated men. I hated life itself. I couldn't see myself beyond that experience. And I thought that was it. That was the end of my life. And I was so demotivated. I was praying so hard to God that He would just take my life. Honestly, I wanted to die. If I don't die, then I wanted abortion. As a result, I went to this grocery store back home in Ngcobo, and I bought a packet of tablets. It was 12 of them in a packet, and I thought that it was going to do a good job as far as I was concerned. And you know, the packet, the tablets, when they start warning something at the back, they say, what is that thing? Do not use this during pregnancy. I was looking for that, and I said, oh, this is it. This is what I want. I bought that, and then I drank all of them. and now I was waiting for abortion to happen. And my boy said, nope, I'm coming. So yeah, so I gave birth. I fell pregnant June that year and then gave birth following year in March. And I had to move from home, Eastern Cape to Western Cape in Stellenbosch, to my extended family. So I stayed with them until I gave birth. From the day I knew that I was pregnant, I never walked out of my home in the street or anything. I was so ashamed of myself. It was a big deal. My father is a respected person. He's a church person. He's a leader. And I was the youngest daughter back then. Now the younger ones. So I really, it was sad. Our time compared to these days, 2000, it's so different. These days, pregnancy is not a big deal. For us, it was a matter of life and death. Like, guys, it was a serious case. So I developed those confidence issues. I hated myself so much. The way I looked, you can see that I am light in complexion. I so wanted to be dark-skinned because most girls were dark-skinned and kids would just tease me. And I gave birth to my son, and that was the last thing I wanted in life, because I am the third born of 8. And my parents never worked, but they managed to raise us. So having a child was uncalled for. It was not in my plans, not at all. As a result, I vowed to God that I will never ever have a child again. In as much as I vowed to God that I will never ever forgive the father of my child for what he did to me. So I moved to Cape Town and Christ found me. I accepted Jesus because I wanted peace. I did not have peace. But then when I started the life of Jesus and how he forgave people who had who mistreated him, and injustices and all that, God taught me in a personal way, because there is the prayer, Our Father who art in heaven. So we used to sing that prayer in church on Sundays during Sunday service. So when I sing that part that says, forgive us as we forgive those who sin against us, I would keep quiet, because the father of my child will just come into the picture, and I'll never forgive him. Therefore, I would keep quiet and sing after they pass that part. So, guys, as time goes on, I realized that I need to forgive. In fact, I read the book that I bought, written by this popular author. It says, Woman, Thou Art Lost. In that book, he speaks about forgiveness. Whew. I said to myself, it's about time. And the more I read the scripture, I read the book and listened to preachers and all that about forgiveness, and the way I studied the life of Jesus, I said to myself, I was challenged. The subject of forgiveness was just challenging to me. So I decided to forgive him. And every time I'll try to call him, he picked up the phone, and I'll just drop the phone. I guess I was not ready until one time that I think I was ready. Then I called, I arranged an appointment with him. I said, you know what, I want to see. It was, guys, after 9 years. So 9 years of my life, or 10, I was just existing, not living. And I was just existing. I didn't have goals. I didn't have ambitions. There was nothing that I was looking forward to in life. And when I called him, we met, and I told him, you know what, now I am saved and I want to forgive you. I've chosen to forgive you because I want to move on in life. And he rejected me for the second time, and I was okay. One thing I want you to know about forgiveness: when you decide to forgive someone or people or situation, never expect them to accept your forgiveness. Some people will retaliate, some people will just, so never expect, but when now you must decide that this is what I've decided, whether you accept my apology or not, whether you accept my forgiveness or not, but you must just make up your mind and decide. So he rejected it, and then we ended up doing DNA test because that's what he wanted. And I didn't want to do that. A day before the test, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. But then again, I remembered why I wanted to do this in the first place. So I had to go through that. DNA test is a humiliation, especially when you know what you know, when you know the truth. It's a humiliation. But I wanted him to be satisfied as well. So I was doing that. So forgiveness again is sacrifice. It is sacrifice. So he then believed after he received the results, and then he wanted to make things right with his son. And I said to him, he must just go back to our parents, because my parents were there when he was not there, and my family. And then his family and my family came together and reconciled. He reconciled with his son, and he introduced himself and blah, blah, blah. And then that was 2009, guys. In 2010, when everyone was busy with World Cup and this and that, in Stellenbosch, people were starting businesses, turning their houses into guest house and B&Bs and stuff like that. Because Stellenbosch is huge on hospitality industry. So, but I was not into that. I am not into hospitality. Then I started asking God, what is my purpose in life? Why he created me? Again, that thought was inspired by Rick Warren's book that says, what's the title of the book? It's The Purpose-Driven Life. Yes, I read that book. And it's about the journey where you find yourself, God's purpose for you, why he created you. And then it was February 2010. There was this vision about single parents, but I didn't know what was it about. I started praying about it and Google information about single parents. The only thing I could find on Google was single parents dating. And I was like, no ways, this is not about that. There must be something more or better than that. And eventually it happened that I needed to start initiative or movement for single parents in 2010. Everything became like it was making sense now. And I looked around. I was surrounded by friends who are single parents, who have issues, colleagues in church, and I never heard anyone addressing single parents in church. If you are older enough, you just by default belongs to parents groups or mothers, but there was no department for single parents. And for me, that was not right, because a single parent and a parent who is married or married parents, they don't have the same challenges. So I started this initiative. I started with friends, and it was working. And I asked God, what is the focus then? And he said, forgiveness, of which that was my journey. You know, sometimes when things happen in your life, there is a purpose. Behind every challenge, there is a blessing, there is a purpose, there is a calling, there is ministry. So for me, I had to go through what I've gone through for about 9 years, and the bitterness, the anger issues, until God revealed his plan for me. When you are being rejected, I always advise people that the most important thing is perspective. You must always seek God's perspective. God does not just allow pain for no reason. There is always a reason for that. For me, I was called for single parents, specifically on forgiveness issues. The fact that you are a single parent, you have a story to tell. You must just tell us, what is it? What is your story? Why are you a single parent? For me, it was through teenage pregnancy. Some others, it is through divorce. Some, it's death. You know, it's different reasons. So there's a story to tell. And most of the time, there is forgiveness that needs to happen in that story or journey of yours, there is bitterness, there is anger, there is mistreatment, there is injustice. So you need to tell your story, because as a single parent, you're expected to raise children, and a bitter parent will raise bitter children. So we need to heal, single parents. Healing needs to take place. And forgiveness. And I know to some people, forgiveness is as if you are saying that it was okay for people to mistreat you. That's not the case. According to my perspective, forgiveness is all about you. You are doing yourself a favor, because you are the one who does not sleep at night. You are the one who is constantly thinking about that person, those people, that situation. So you are doing it for yourself. You are freeing yourself. You are liberating yourself. It is about your freedom. Forgiveness is not about him. It's not about her. It's not about them. It's about you. And I reached a point where I needed my peace. And right now I can tell you that there is no success without forgiveness. And also success in my world is, in my view, in my opinion, success is peace. Success is joy. Success is freedom. As long as you are holding a grudge towards someone or people or whatever, you are not successful. You are not happy. There is nothing you'll ever do and succeed. You can't even enjoy your achievements. For me, I did things that when I look back, guys, I tried to impress people, all because of low self-esteem. I opened clothing accounts, I don't know how many. Clothing accounts, contract cell phones. I ended up being blacklisted. The time I found a nice job that was paying me well, that could afford me a car, I couldn't buy that car because I was blacklisted. Clothes that I did not even enjoy, I didn't like them. It's not like they were making me feeling happy. I'll buy item today and wear it once, and tomorrow, the next day, I don't want it. I was doing things for others. I was impressing people. People would think that I was happy, but I was not happy. So I am praying that you will deal with what makes you bitter. Sometimes some people, they are not even aware that they are bitter. You need to look within. So I have dogs, guys, outside. Never mind. So you need to look within and forgive. It's for your health. It's for your own good. It's for your mental care. It's for your freedom. It's for your liberation. The world is waiting. We cannot wait for you to heal so that we may be healed. Today, I am passionate about this single parenting thing and blended families, because single parents get married with unresolved issues, and that creates unstable families, because marriage is a serious case, guys. You cannot just get married without discussing the issues, especially if you are a single parent. And to those who are not single parents now, by the time you were watching this video, I want to tell you that maybe you don't have a child yet. Who knows, maybe you'll fall in love with someone who is already a parent. That guy, that woman, and you don't have kids of your own. So what then? Maybe you are now married, maybe a few years down the line, life will happen. One thing that I know is that there is nothing permanent in this world except the word of God. Your spouse will leave you, be it through death or divorce, but your spouse will leave you, or you will leave him or her. Rejection in this life is guaranteed. You need to find ways of dealing with rejection. And as for me, is to find forgiveness, is to take the journey and forgive. Forgiveness is liberating. There are so many things that people are carrying, the burden, the baggage and all that, and they are trying so many things. Some people, they are abusing alcohol, not because they want to, not because they enjoy alcohol that much. Some are abusing women or men. Some they just don't want stable relationships. Some they don't because of something that is inside of them. Something happened. I know people who tell me that this person once told me that is dating different people simply because this one person did that to them. And because of that, they don't believe in real love. And as for me, I believed that men were all the same because of one man. I hated every man on earth because of one man, which is unfair. All I needed to do was to deal with that man. Then I chose forgiveness over hatred. And now I am free. And I believe in love. I love men. I have heart for men. I started initiating for boys and men. I am passionate about men because South African men is broken. South African men is wounded. I understand why most men are abusing and are mistreating women. I am not saying I accept that is acceptable, but I say I understand. I am choosing my words wisely. I understand why. There is no happy soul, no happy person who will just decide to mistreat others. People who are doing that, even drivers who are deciding to be rude on the road, I just know that that person has got problems of his or her own. You cannot just decide to shout people, all guys, haibo, on social media. I smell bitterness, even if I don't know you, the way you speak. I can tell that this person has got issues. Sometimes I just smile and leave because people are dealing with a lot of issues out there. Out of the fullness of the heart, the mouth speaks. What you speak is not a mistake. It's what is inside. It's what is inside you. It's what is in your heart. So guys, let me love and leave you. I will see you again. Please forgive your children, your family, the world. We need you. We need you healed and whole. And you cannot be that until you forgive. Deal with your issues. What is it that you need to forgive? And remember that forgiveness is sacrifice. I cried. I forgave him with tears in my eyes. But those I don't regret. And forgiveness is not a once-off thing. You will, as long as you live, you are still going to have to forgive people, your colleagues, your family, your spouse, your partner, your child. I still forgive. I get hurt, I cry, and I do all of kind of things. But at the end of the day, I know if I want to enjoy life, I must forgive that person or that situation. Let me love and leave you guys. Please subscribe, share, and like. I will see you again. Keep well.